In Ta'anit, Masech Ta'anit, Daftet, Amud Aleph 9a, Tosafot brings on this pasuk it says Aser Ta'aser Kol Tevuatecha Tuat Zarecha Midei Shana Shana. You have to give 10% from your field every single year. But Tosafot says this is only from the crops. How do we know from the money that we make? So Tosafot says we learn from the word kol. All is usually kam, kol is usually rabot, kol comes to include. Then also the money you make, also you have to give maaser, 10%. Now, poskim have a discussion if it's the oraita, the rabbanan, it's from the rabbis, or it's from the Torah that you have to give maaser. Some poskim say it's from the Torah, some poskim is the rabbanan. Yekut Yosef says the halacha, it's only a minhag. For Sfaradim to give maaser from the money is only a minhag. Maaser from the Torah is to give from the produce from the field. So therefore, Yekut Yosef says if a person is having hard times making money, and he wants to deduct from his expenses, he wants to yitzara. It's okay. We'll cut it out after. No, it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. No, it's okay. If a person wants to deduct from his expenses, he wants to take off his expenses first, and then give maaser, he's allowed to. Why? Because l'halacha, maaser is only a minhag. But even so, even though it's a minhag, a person has to say bli neder, because if you do a minhag 3 times, and you didn't say bli neder, it becomes a neder, becomes a vow, and therefore you're obligated. Another discussion is what do you do with the maaser money? What are you supposed to do with it? So the Ramah writes in Siman Resh Mem Tet that you're supposed to give it to aniyim. The only thing you're supposed to do with the maaser is to give it to poor, needy people, and the more mitzvot they do, the better the mitzvah is, the higher the mitzvah of maaser is. The Shach, he argues, the Shach says, no, let's say a person wants to give chatay kala. Let's say the shul is asking for books, we need more books. I want to give from my maaser money. The Shach says it's on mutar. But according to the Ramah, he says the best thing to do is to give it to only poor people. Another discussion that becomes in the discussion of laws of maaser is the Shach and the Taz Arba argument. If the Gemara says that a child that's above 6 years old, from the letter of the law, you don't have to support him anymore. This, you give him food and you continue to support him, is already considered tzedakah at that point. It's considered chesed. So therefore, according to this, the question becomes, can I pay from the bills and the expenses of my children from maaser money? Let's say I'm very tight and, I have to marry my son off, or I have to pay for food, and I have to pay for his clothes, and I have to pay for a lot of things that cost a lot of money, and I don't have money, and I want to use my maaser money. And it's considered tzedakah according to the Gemara. Once he's above 6 years old, it's considered tzedakah that I support him. So the Shach says that mutar, you'll be allowed to use maaser money for your children above 6. And Rav Adia writes, interestingly, in Yechavedan Chelik Gimel, he brings poskim who say even for tuition to use maaser for the kids' tuition if he has to, then he'll be allowed to. Yeah, there's poskim to rely on such a situation. But the Taz argues and he says no, you'll be not allowed to. So it's not according to all the opinions. And the last thing is, when it comes to the laws of maaser, a person has to know that the Gemara says in Masechet Ta'anit that it is a segula to become rich if you give maaser. The Gemara says aser ta'aser. Why is it 2 times in the Torah aser ta'aser? In order to teach you that if you give maaser, it is segula to be titasher, it is segula to become rich. We said, imagine how much suffering in the community there is for people who don't have money and they're very, very impoverished. And we did a calculation one time. We said with a group of friends here in the Bet Knesset, he said if all the people in this community, all the Jewish people in the community, they would just give 10% of their earnings. Just 10%. The one who makes a lot will give 10%. The one who makes a little bit less will give 10%. We came to somewhat of a calculation based on what a normal Jewish family needs to make every year to live. We came out with a number of $500 million. $500 million a year, there would be available funds for the community to build, to give, to donate, build for the community. $500 million within ourselves if everybody gave 10% maaser. So for a person has to realize, you think what you give is nothing, is small, but in the end, when we put it together, it reaches great, great places. So therefore, a person has to think more about this that we do maaser. Now,